What did you say you would do to the whole paddock?
Hug them.
Does Guenther remain at Haas? During the F1 2023 season, Guenther Steiner talked in depth with PlanetF1.com about how he felt about his time with Haas coming to an end. Steiner will not be on the grid in 2024 after nearly 10 years as the president of the Haas Formula One team, as the two companies split before the start of the new season. Guenther Steiner, the former principal of the Haas team, shared his thoughts on his next goals after leaving the American Formula One team. His open discussion with Autosport reveals a carefree attitude about his work, concentrating on chances that truly excite him. Guenther Steiner highlights his intention to exercise restraint and discernment in his future professional decisions, alluding to a possible temporary role in the F1 media. If Steiner were to return to Formula One, he would love to be a team principal, but he is adamant that he will only take on tasks that he genuinely enjoys and won't aggressively pursue possibilities. Steiner has the luxury of being picky because of the financial stability of his Fiberworks Composites company. He intends to take his time choosing new endeavors to make sure they suit his interests and provide him with pleasure. After his abrupt departure from the American Formula One team, former Haas team principal Guenther Steiner has been transparent about his future goals for his career. Fiberworks Composites, Steiner's prosperous commercial endeavor outside of Formula One, has given him financial stability and the freedom to select his next position carefully. Although Steiner would want to be a team principal, he makes it apparent that he is not actively looking for such chances. Ayao Komatsu has made hints that Gene Haas has given him a goal to win the 2024 Formula One Constructors' Championship. Surprisingly, Komatsu took over as team principal from the well-liked Guenther Steiner after Haas's disappointing championship result the previous year. The new team principal has been informed by team owner Gene Haas that they need to improve on their finish from the previous season. When asked if he had a specific goal in mind, Komatsu told Sky Sports. Komatsu made a clear indication that Gene Haas wants his team to stay out of the bottom two Constructors' Championship spots, which they had done in the previous 2 years. Before securing Steiner's former position, Komatsu, who joined Haas in 2016, most recently served as Director of Engineering. Thus, rather than Steiner's financial acumen, he brings engineering expertise to the position of leadership. Last year, poor tire management occasionally interrupted the weekends of Haas drivers Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. The performance of his team was deemed embarrassing by Gene Haas. Even though Komatsu played a significant role in Haas last year, they are now in charge of improving their situation. Guenther Steiner talks to Sky Sports News in his first TV interview following his shocking resignation from his long-standing position as team principal. He discusses how and when he discovered he was leaving, as well as whether or not his popularity as a Drive to Survive star ultimately had an adverse effect. Speaking with Sky Sports, Guenther Steiner discussed his abrupt resignation from Haas. He acknowledged that he had not anticipated leaving and insisted that the team had benefited more from his reluctant celebrity status than from it. He was informed that between Christmas and New Year's his contract would not be renewed. He had argued for the team to invest more in infrastructure in order to keep up with their Formula One competitors. Even though some at Haas were concerned about his Drive to Survive star status, it worked a lot in favor of the team, and he did not seek the spotlight. Having said he was embarrassed that his squad had not performed better, Gene Haas will now have to live with the consequences. He believes that good things will come and is not in a rush to return to Formula One. In honor of his scheduled participation at the Autosport International Show, Steiner gave a speech on Saturday at Birmingham's NEC. Even though Steiner was the team manager of the smallest Formula One team, he had recently become a much more well-known figure due to Netflix's Drive to Survive. The behind-the-scenes documentary showcased the Italian driver's candid and occasionally profanity-filled opinions, bringing him to the attention of a new viewership. When asked if he had ever considered the possibility that Gene Haas or other team members would have had a problem with his newfound celebrity status, Steiner said, "Not really, but looking back now, it could have." According to Sky Sports News, Steiner's contract was not extended by team owner Haas because the two disagreed on the club's future course and the timing of extra infrastructure financing. While he was supposedly just the team principal at the Banbury-based team, Steiner had a far greater impact and involvement overall. He's also recognized for having helped the team survive the COVID-19 epidemic in 2020. When Steiner appeared at the Autosport International Show in Birmingham, UK, the crowd welcomed the well-liked Italian and Drive to Survive star with open arms. Steiner shared his initial impressions of the reshuffle, when Steiner went specific about his exit, confirming that team owner Gene Haas had contacted him with the shocking decision somewhere between Christmas and New Year's. Gene Haas made it clear in an exclusive interview with Formula One.com that the decision to replace Steiner came down to performance. as the team had not finished higher than 8th in the previous 5 seasons and had fallen to the bottom of the constructor standings in 2023 after scoring just 12 points from 22 races. Given his company's partnership with Ferrari, which dates back to the beginning of their Formula One career and involves them obtaining a variety of parts, including power units from the well-known Italian manufacturer, Haas went so far as to use the word embarrassed. In response to a question regarding Haas's model and whether it's the best course of action going forward, Steiner used the occasion to highlight how much F1 has changed recently, especially in light of the cost cap and the significant investments some rival teams have been making in related infrastructure, such as new factories, engine divisions, or wind tunnels. Then, Steiner expressed gratitude to Magnussen and his current teammate Nico Hülkenberg for their very cool social media posts that praised his distinct personality and wished him the best of luck for his undetermined future. In fact, what are Steiner's plans for the future year as the announcement settles and the 2024 season draws near, with vehicle launches and testing scheduled to occur soon? Now, let's see more about Guenther. In Formula One, Guenther Steiner is a well-known figure. His most well-known role is that of Haas F1 team's manager. He was raised in a motorsports-related family and was born in Merano, Italy on April 7, 1965. He had an early interest in motorsports and started working for different teams as an engineer and technician. Guenther Steiner moved to Formula One in 2002, taking a position as managing director at Jaguar Racing. He was appointed technical director of Red Bull Racing in 2005. Steiner held a number of positions in the motorsport industry in the years that followed. Since 2014, Steiner has led the Haas Formula One team. In 2014, Joe Custer and Gene Haas named Steiner the team manager of the Haas Formula One team. But the Australian Grand Prix in 2016 was his first race as team manager. Steiner and his group felt conflicted about the weekend. In his first race, Haas earned 8 points, compared to Romain Grosjean's 6th place result. It was the first time a team had scored points in its debut since Toyota in 2002. Less content were those in Esteban Gutierrez's pit box. The Mexican made contact with Fernando Alonso and then had a severe crash. In 2016, Haas scored 29 points, all of which came from Romain Grosjean. Esteban Gutierrez was replaced by Kevin Magnussen in 2017 by Haas. That year, Magnussen and Grosjean both consistently scored points. Similarly, Haas finished only behind the Renault team in 5th place among constructors in 2018. Even though Grosjean and Magnussen continued to be the drivers at Haas in 2019 and 2020, Steiner continued to have regular altercations with his driver combo. Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher were named drivers by Steiner in 2021. Haas's season was incredibly poor. The American formation scored 0 points and came in dead last. Steiner and associates succeeded in turning the tide in 2022. Mazepin made way for an old buddy, Magnussen, who brought in the necessary points with the help of Mick Schumacher. In 2023, Steiner also served as the head coach of the Haas Formula One team. The team's drivers will be Nico Hülkenberg and Kevin Magnussen. Apart from his accomplishments as a team leader, Guenther Steiner is renowned for his candid and frequently hilarious remarks. Among F1 fans, he is immensely popular. A well-known quote of his is, "If you're not crashing, you're not trying hard enough." His resolve and readiness to take chances in order to get the finest outcomes are highlighted in this statement. The Netflix series F1 Drive to Survive is largely responsible for Steiner's rise to prominence. The head of the Haas team is portrayed in the program as a sports cult figure. The Italian is not afraid to speak his mind, even in Drive to Survive. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Also, express your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. Until then, bye. Also, spend some time watching other videos on the channel.